In this video, you're going to learn the exact three-part strategy to putting together a customer-attracting, deal-closing Instagram sales machine. This overall system has everything worked out inside of it. It's going to help you be discovered by more and more prospective customers every day. It'll help you get through to them with repeated exposure, which builds trust and credibility. And best of all, there's a built-in mechanism to actually turn all that attention into dollars on the back end. And to help me unlock the secret to getting all those leads, clients, and sales using Instagram, I've enlisted some help. Help in the form of Queen of Instagram sales strategy herself, Jasmine Starr. So Jasmine, why is Instagram the platform that you chose to build your sales machine on?
There's a kind of like a secret sauce that Instagram has, and that is they capture people's attention best. And so if you are going to just choose a particular platform, you're going to want to choose the platform that has the most stickability, that keeps people there the longest. And Instagram has been serving like hit after hit of keeping people's attention. Every type of content creation, which would be short form video, stories that disappear in 24 hours, things that exist on the feed, a live broadcast component, messaging that is getting more and more personalized. Now, I know TikTok offers a different set of values, but collectively as a whole, I still would bet on Instagram.
So this Instagram sales machine all starts with your irresistible offer, but what makes an offer truly irresistible anyway?
Sports Illustrated articulated this idea better than any other company I've ever seen, and they're probably one of the first founding forefathers of an irresistible offer. Now, during the 80s, they were really trying to push their subscriptions and they were having a hard time. So this magazine subscription was their offer. But what they needed was an irresistible offer, in addition to what they offered, to not make somebody make a decision in general, but to make a decision there and now. So Sports Illustrated tested an idea of an irresistible offer, and what they came up with was a football telephone.
Oh, the McDowell family absolutely had that football phone. I know it all too well.
Okay, so this is like it's famous and infamous all at the same time. So what happens was that Sports Illustrated saw a massive spike in magazine subscriptions, not because of just their offer, but in order for somebody to get the phone, they had to do it within a set time period while supplies last. All of those things contributed to what made that offer irresistible, that empowered somebody to make a decision, not just to buy, but to buy right then. What you want to do as a business owner is try to the best of your ability to come up with an irresistible offer that would get somebody from not just making a decision, but making a decision right then. So if we were to use an example of, let's just say, a family photographer. A family photographer's offer is photography services and/or photographs from the session. Great, but what's gonna make a family book a family photographer right then and there? Could you, for a limited time, let's say during the holidays, a family photographer says, if you book before this date and book this collection, well then I'm going to include 100 designed Christmas cards and pre-addressed envelopes. But they're limited. You must book by this date and it's while supplies last. All of a sudden, somebody's being forced to make a decision of not yes, but yes right now.
And by the way, your irresistible offer doesn't have to, and honestly shouldn't, run all the time. If it did, it really wouldn't have the urgency that it needs. So think of a few different promotions, bonuses, or discounts that you could throw into the mix like 3 to 6 times a year.
I'm a big advocate of setting promotions. A promotion could be anything from I'm launching a new podcast to a limited time sale to a holiday driven thing or an incentive for like a friends and family. Anything that's going to give you a reason to talk about your same business in a new and different way. So when we talk about making an offer and adding an irresistible offer, we do that within a specific promotional period. This is when we're going to see a spike with strategy for sale.
And since it's so easy to get tripped up here on choosing a less than irresistible offer, I asked Jasmine, so what's a bad idea that people generally have that isn't actually an irresistible offer?
A bad would be more of the same thing you're offering. So if I'm a family photographer, normally a session comes with 50 photos, but if you book before this date, you get 75. It's kind of like I'm still deciding on the same thing, but just more. And sometimes people don't look at value as in more. They value something that is in addition or different.
And Instagram moves pretty fast, which is why it's super important to be incredibly clear on what your offer is and how it can help alleviate a pain point or help them achieve a result that they want. Once you've got your first irresistible offer clearly defined, it's time to move on to part 2, your Instagram sales funnel. For this stage, you're going to be creating regular content in a really smart, strategic way, not just posting some random stuff and seeing if it sticks. And you can think of this content in 2 overall buckets. In the first, you have your regular, everyday, value-based content.
So when we come about creating value, 90% of the content you should be sharing is all about what does my dream customer need to know, need to see, or need to hear at this point in time. And that comes far before the promotional period.
So think of this value-based content as anything that teaches, informs, or even inspires your most ideal customers. The trick is you want to keep it pretty relevant to your offer. So for that family photographer example, you might post about ways to get your babies to look at the camera, or 5 tips for family photos, or poses that they can try. You're trying to reach and help those moms or dads out there who are interested in capturing family memories. And the second bucket of content is going to fill the other 10% of your posts that you'll mostly run during your promo periods, and that content has a very specific purpose. First, you want to just clearly lay out what the offer is in some of those posts, but also
what we want to make sure we're showing people is things that will answer their unasked questions. Oh, they're answering something I didn't actually ask, and now I am wiser, smarter, more prepared to make a decision. So what we want to do during this very specific time frame is answer questions, share testimonials, clearly and cleanly address objections. What you're trying to do is have a conversation that feels like it's two-way, but the two-way is coming, I know you so well, I'm gonna create this piece of content so that we feel connected, and therefore you trust me more and you're more likely to make a transaction and on sale. So during a promotional period, when I'm clearly and cleanly asking for a transaction, my content will be less value-driven and more sales-driven. But we can't always have sales-driven content, because if there's no value, people stop paying attention. If people stop paying attention, they're never gonna see your sales offer.
Great, so how do you get more of your ideal customers to even start seeing your content to begin with? Is it all about hashtags? Well, not exactly.
My answer has always been pouring gas on the floor is not gonna do anything unless you're pouring gasoline on a fire. It doesn't matter what hashtags you're using if the content in and of itself isn't fire. So statistically speaking, you put out a post and anywhere from 2 to 2.5% of your organic audience will see that. So because I'm not a mathematician, let's just keep it as simple as possible. Let's say you have 1,000 Instagram followers. Generally speaking, around 20 to 25 people are going to see that post. Now, depending on who engages, if it shows your post to say 25 people and 10 people like it and 2 people leave a comment, statistically, that's great measurement for the algorithm to say, well, we just showed this to 25 of Wes's followers. That means if we show it to another 10 and people continue to engage in the same way, their engagement is indicating to the algorithm that more people should be seeing it. This is the exact definition of virality. Instagram will take a post and see how many people are engaging. Very high engagement early on is a good indication that it should show to more people. And if they show it to more people and the exact same amount of people or more engage with it, it means more people should see it, more people should see it, more people should see it. So how do you get more people to see your content? Number one, you're creating content that your dream customer wants to see. It is less about your business and more about what your business does for your followers. When they feel educated, empowered, and or entertained, there is a higher likelihood that they will engage. And once you get that engagement, then it's off to the races thereafter.
And now's a good time for an extra, not so little tip that'll help you get way more reach, whether or not you have even 1 follower right now. And that's going all in on Instagram Reels. Sure, you still need to check all those boxes that Jasmine mentioned to make sure the people who see your reel watch it and engage with it in some way so that the algorithm shows it to more and more people. But the reason that I think you should hit this type of post extra hard is because Instagram is also hitting it hard. They want to beat TikTok and all the other short form video platforms so badly in the race that they're pushing those reels like crazy, which is going to get you more exposure and more chances to go viral a heck of a lot faster. Not to mention, when you use video and use it often, you'll actually build recognition, trust, and likability a lot faster than you ever could by just sharing still photos or stuff like this. And if you're really trying to build a robust Instagram sales machine like the title of this video promises, you should be posting these short videos as often as you can. Daily if possible, but shoot for at least 3 days a week. And if that scares you or sounds completely undoable with your schedule, I'm telling you it's easier and quicker than you think. First of all, these guys can be incredibly short, like 10 to 30 seconds. Secondly, they don't require a bunch of editing. Record right in the app, then just slap a title on it and you're good to go. Third, I'm a big believer in batching content. So write enough scripts to get you through the next month, then record all of them at once, like in an hour or two. But all that said, don't cut corners on the quality of the content when you're planning this out. Remember,
it doesn't matter if the content in and of itself isn't fire.
And I found this really interesting. Going through Jasmine's Instagram reels, she does include some reels that are pretty much text only, and believe it or not, these are some of her highest reaching ones. So maybe pad your numbers out by creating a quote or single tip in text with some trending music, and maybe you can do one of these for, every 5 on-camera reels that you make. Now it's time to actually turn all that hard work into cash with part 3, your strategic close flow. Now, you'll want to layer in more promotional posts that are meant to drive sales or appointments or consultations all year long. Remember, they should be about 10% of your overall posts, but you'll especially want to use them during those promo periods that we talked about.
You want to make sure that in order for somebody to make a decision within a specific time frame, that there are incentives and reminders. You want to make sure that the content you're putting out during this promotional period is reminding people that the offer or the shape of the offer will disappear. Or perhaps you have things that are attached to it, like let's say a bonus, let's say doors are closing, let's say limited seats or limited time value, a limited discount. Whatever it is, something must disappear or be taken away, which causes somebody to say, well, I don't want to lose out on. Oftentimes people as business owners, what we want to do is talk about all the good, and people are like, great, I agree with the good. But when you contextualize it for what do you miss out, what do you lose out on, there's this thing of, hey, what is the opportunity cost for not investing in the football phone, not investing in this photography, not booking this business coach, not going to this chiropractor? There's something that somebody loses by saying no. We must remind them during this time and then give them a specific date as to when they should make their decision.
And I know that social proof is really important in the closing phase, so how can we use that?
Inserting testimonials that facilitate the promise. It's not enough to say, wow, this program worked for me. The best testimonials are, this is a specific way that this offer, program, or product helped me get the results that I wanted. So we're speaking directly to our followers' unstated desires and saying, wow, this person knows exactly what it is I want. They helped somebody else achieve a very similar goal. I believe I can do that if I invest. And then we remind, yes, you want to invest to not miss out on irresistible bonus, closed doors, bonuses disappearing, buy one, get one free, things of that nature.
So other than posting about your promotions, there's another important part to this close flow that we're talking about, and that's actually closing, right? And as the kids say, it all goes down in the DMs. That's what they say, right? Yes, that's what they say. And for a lot of more spammy businesses, this means a lot of cold prospecting and cold DMing strangers, just hitting them up for a sale. But that's not what this strategy is all about. It doesn't need it, because that's what all your posts and reels have been doing all along, attracting people to you so that all you need to do is respond to their DMs when they want to know more about your offer.
Oftentimes, if people have questions or they're doubting, that's where the DMs come in. And DMs are so powerful in closing sales because the direct message speaks directly to them, so they feel known, seen, and heard. And they often will respond by saying, if Wes is showing up for me in a DM to respond and make sure I'm seeing, how much more would he show up once I have transacted on behalf of his business? The DMs are a powerful way to close sales.
And if you want to make your DM responses even more powerful, one of my favorite pro tips here is to answer as many questions as you can with the voice memo feature. So imagine following someone on Instagram and you've seen a bunch of their reels and posts, and then you get a personalized voice response from them. It just makes them feel special and, like Jasmine says, seen and heard. That little extra touch that honestly is faster to do than typing out a response anyway is gonna generate a massive amount of goodwill and boost sales big time. So everything we're talking about so far is 100% free to do, but once you master the stuff, you might wanna start
pouring gasoline on a fire.
So to do that, I've got this video, which is gonna show you the single best way of running Instagram ads. And guess what? It's a perfect fit for the type of content we talked about in this video. So click right here and see how you can use just a little bit of money to pour that gasoline. I'll see you there.